Some people only love you when you're easy to control. They confuse your kindness with weakness. They take your silence as permission to keep hurting you. And you? Maybe you've been told to let it go, to just forgive, to be the bigger person. But inside, something feels off. You're not at peace. You're exhausted from carrying pain that wasn't yours to begin with. Here's the truth. The Buddha never asked you to betray yourself in the name of compassion. He taught something deeper, something radical, a kind of love that includes yourself, a kind of peace that doesn't cost your dignity. In this video, we'll explore how Buddhist wisdom shows us a new way, how to forgive without surrendering your boundaries, how to protect your energy without closing your heart, and how to stop letting people hurt you while still walking the path of compassion. This is not about being cold, this is about being clear. 1. Compassion is not compliance. In a world where being nice is praised above all else, compassion is often misunderstood. We're told that being good means being agreeable, that being spiritual means always forgiving, always accepting, always saying yes. But in Buddhism, compassion isn't blind obedience. It's not swallowing pain just to keep the peace. True compassion is grounded in wisdom. The Buddha never said to abandon yourself in service to others. He taught that right action comes from awareness, not people-pleasing, and that awareness begins with recognizing when you're being harmed. If someone constantly disrupts your peace, disrespects your boundaries, or manipulates your kindness, continuing to allow it is not noble, it's unwise. You can love someone deeply and still say, "This is not the place where I thrive. This energy is not healthy for me." Setting limits doesn't close your heart. It protects it, so it can stay open where it is safe to do so. Compassion without clarity is self-destruction. But compassion with boundaries, that's liberation. 2. Forgiveness is freedom, not permission. Let's talk about forgiveness. So often we treat it like a moral obligation, as if we have to forgive to be spiritual, as if letting go of the pain means letting people back in. But that's not what the Buddha taught. Forgiveness is an internal release, not an external reset. It doesn't mean pretending the harm didn't happen. It doesn't mean giving someone access to you again. It means choosing not to carry the anger anymore. In Buddhist practice, forgiveness is an act of inner freedom, because holding on to resentment binds you tighter to the person who hurt you. You replay the scenes, you relive the emotion, you bleed every time the memory surfaces. But forgiveness breaks the chain. It says, "I no longer carry what isn't mine. I no longer give you space in my sacred mind." And here's what's key. You can forgive without reconnecting. You can bless someone from a distance and keep your peace undisturbed. Because forgiveness is not about making things right with others. It's about making things whole within yourself. 3. Karma will handle what you cannot. When someone wrongs you, the natural impulse is to fix it, to get closure, to speak your truth, to make them understand. But sometimes they never do. Sometimes they move on without guilt, without apology, without ever seeing the harm they caused. That's where karma steps in. In Buddhism, karma is not revenge. It's not punishment from the universe. It's simply the natural law of cause and effect. With our thoughts, we create the world, the Buddha said. Every intention, every action, every word sows a seed, and that seed bears fruit in time. If someone acts with cruelty, manipulation, or deceit, that energy is shaping their future, not because you wish it, but because that's how reality works. Their karma is their responsibility, not yours to carry, not yours to enforce, and that means you don't need to stay in the story. You don't need to keep chasing justice or waiting for karma to get them. Your freedom is not tied to their outcome. You get to walk away and let life take care of the rest. Because karma isn't about evening the score. It's about reflecting the truth. So when you feel the urge to react, to fight back, to explain yourself endlessly, remember, the river keeps flowing, whether they learn the lesson or not. Let them go. Let karma do what it does, and return to your own peace. 4. Boundaries are a form of enlightened action. Spirituality isn't passivity. It's not about enduring whatever the world throws at you with a smile plastered on your face. It's about conscious action, and sometimes that action is a boundary. In Buddhist teachings, we're encouraged to cultivate right action, one of the key steps on the Noble Eightfold Path. Right action is not just about what you do for others, it's also about what you allow in your life. Boundaries are not walls made of anger, they are fences made of wisdom. They say, I honor your path, but I also honor my peace. I can love you and still choose space. I wish you well, but not at the expense of my well-being. A boundary isn't cruelty, it's clarity. It's a recognition of where your energy ends and someone else's chaos begins. Think of a temple. It has doors. It has silence. Not everyone can just walk in and make noise. That sacred space is protected, and your inner world is no different. Setting boundaries allows your heart to stay open without being constantly wounded. It lets you continue your practice without being derailed by someone else's dysfunction. So if someone continues to hurt you, dismiss your feelings or violate your peace. Let your boundary be your act of self-respect. You don't have to shout. You don't have to explain. You just have to step back, gently, and with wisdom. That too is part of awakening. 5. Your peace is sacred. Protect it. There's a stillness inside you, a quiet place untouched by noise, drama, or opinion. That stillness is your peace, and it is sacred. But here's the hard truth. Most of us give that peace away too easily. We let one person's comment ruin our whole day. We open our minds to gossip and chaos. We offer our energy to people who take but never give, and slowly, without realizing it, we become distant from the very center of our being. The Buddha taught that inner peace doesn't come from controlling the outside world. It comes from mastering your response to it, and part of that mastery is discernment. Who deserves your time? Who lifts your spirit? And who leaves you drained and resentful? You cannot control how others show up, but you can absolutely control whether you invite them past your mental gate. Protect your peace the way a monk protects sacred silence, not with force, but with presence, with intention, with quiet certainty. Ask yourself daily, does this lead me closer to freedom or deeper into suffering? And then choose accordingly. You were never meant to carry everyone else's pain. You were never meant to stay where your spirit keeps shrinking. Forgiveness is sacred. Compassion is powerful. But without wisdom, they can become weapons turned inward. Buddhism teaches us to release the poison, not by allowing more in, but by refusing to keep drinking from the same cup. It's time to reclaim your inner stillness, to see that saying no can be an act of profound kindness, not just toward others, but toward yourself. Peace comes from within, the Buddha said. Do not seek it without. Because your peace is not a gift others get to break. It is a practice, a path, a vow to your own awakening. Subscribe to Buddhist Wisdom for more ancient teachings to help you live from strength, serenity, and self-compassion. Let this be your temple, your refuge, your return to clarity.